Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So obviously these are my thoughts on that really frustrating, really frustrating match that obviously ended Chelsea 1, Forest 1. And before we go into it, obviously we'll go into the lineup. It's exactly the same lineup as against Brighton. So that was Sanchez in goal, Fofana and Colwell as our centre backs, Gusto on the right, Cucurella on the left, Enzo, Palmer and Caicedo as that sort of midfield, Jackson up top, on the left Sancho and on the right Noni. Now going into this match, you know how Forest are going to play. You know that they're going to be a very, very strong defensive unit and they're going to essentially ask you, can you break us down? They did it against Liverpool, where Liverpool couldn't break them down, and obviously they actually went away and won that match. And just because of that, I didn't think that this was a right game for Jackson. I didn't think that he'd suit that sort of no space in behind. He's brilliant when they play a high line and when there's space that he can run and attack. But I personally felt that Nkunku would have been better in this, or even João Felix, or João Felix. I also kind of would have preferred Neto to start on the right instead of Noni. Obviously, he scored, but still. So into the first half, and it kind of went exactly how I expected it to. Forest obviously was sitting back defending. They had all the players kind of in their own half, and they were essentially waiting for us to make a mistake. Or as soon as they got the ball again, they then go forward using their pace. And it was essentially kind of they sat back and they asked the question, can we break them down? Obviously, last year this is the type of team that we really struggled against. Last season with Poch, we were fighting against the big teams because they gave us loads of space. They attacked us and we could cut through them. But against the low blocks as such, we just didn't have that creativity. And this is what a team like Forest really do. They test how creative your players are, and they test the patience of your players as well. Um, the first half wasn't bad, but it wasn't that great. I think we had one shot on target in the entirety of it. They were just such a strong unit. It was very difficult to break them down. In fact, I think the best chance that we had came from a mistake from them. One of their players just completely miscontrolled the ball. I think Noni dispossesses them. He runs down into their box, cuts the ball back to Palmer. Palmer gets a shot away, but it's also blocked. It then goes through the goalkeeper's legs, hits the post, and just doesn't go in. And I think it was in that moment when it just didn't go in, and the goalkeeper somehow stopped it. I just thought it's going to be one of those days. For playing for a team like Forest, you need to score first, and you need to score early, because then it nullifies their entire plan, and they have to really then attack you, which then creates more space, which then means your best players can really just utilize their strengths. Obviously, we were 0-0 at half time, and like I said, it wasn't like it was a bad result, but it was definitely frustrating. But into the second half, and second half was wild. I mean, the first 4 minutes, they get a free kick from around the halfway line. Ward-Prowse just floats the ball in. No one challenges their player. I think it was Gusto who just didn't see his man, and then he has the ball, and then I think it's Chris Wood who just gets a little foot. And again, I think this was Caicedo who wasn't marking him, and then Sanchez had no chance. And it was watching this. If you're a Chelsea fan watching that, if you thought the first stuff was frustrating, you just knew as soon as they scored, they were just going to shut up shop and defend, 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 like their lives depending on it, like their lives depended on it, and you knew that it was going to be a really frustrating evening. And again, we dominated the ball. They didn't mind that; they were fine with that. We didn't really have anything. Or in the 60th minute, Palmer passes to Noni, who just cuts in into the bottom right hand corner, and it was just an outstanding goal, absolutely outstanding goal. And after this goal happened, the game just became a lot more stretched because Forest were actually going for it a bit more, which then we had more opportunity. And there was one moment about maybe 10 minutes after we'd scored where they got a man sent off. So one of their players got sent off, and it was I think someone passed it back. Ward-Prowse completely miscontrols the ball, and Jackson is about to get there, and he'd be through on goal, and no one would catch up with him. It would be a question of can he finish, and Ward-Prowse just jumps and dives on the ball and holds the ball and like just completely stopping it. And referee gives him a second yellow card. Could easily have been a red. gives him a second yellow card, and just sends him off. And at that point, I think we had like 20 minutes left to go, and I really thought we have to win. We have to win. They're down to 10 men. They're going to have everyone in the box. They're just going to defend to try and get a result. We have to win this. We were bringing on Nkunku, we were bringing on Felix, we were bringing on Neto, we're bringing on incredible attacking players. Surely we get opportunities. And we did. we got quite a few opportunities. The reason why we didn't win was their goalkeeper just had an incredible game. I mean, we missed some, like, I think Felix got his header completely off target, but that's just frustrating. There was a few instances, one which was just, someone passes the ball to Palmer, Palmer then gets the ball between the Forest player's legs, had a great shot, wonderful save, has a second shot, another amazing save. And you're just there like, is it really going to be one of those days where the goalkeeper is their man of the match? And the thing is, it wasn't just their goalkeeper who was amazing, it was our goalkeeper. So despite them being down to 10 men, they actually still went for it. I think Nico Williams was through on goal at one point, and Sanchez produced an absolutely world-class save to keep us keep us at 1-0. But there, yeah, again, it was end to end. I mean, if you're a neutral watching Chelsea, Chelsea will probably be your favourite team to watch because it's just chaotic every single match. And there was one moment where I'm still gutted we didn't score from this. But the ball is down our end. Mudryk picks the ball up. He then sprints from our box to their box, crosses the ball, perfect ball, absolutely perfect ball. And then Nkunku he gets brilliant power on it, and he just heads it down, and it's a good save. But you're just like, if he heads the ball in the same direction the ball comes from, so if the ball's coming from his left and he heads the ball into the right hand post, goalkeeper's never going to save it. But because the goalkeeper's always just going to naturally assume that he's going to go to the goalkeeper's left, and it was frustrating. It was frustrating. And the end of the match, and it feels like 2 points dropped. We've had two matches this season which we didn't win, which were, obviously we lost to City, but which were Palace and now Forest. And I feel we should have won both. We really should have won both. Palace, I don't know how we didn't win. And today, it's one of those frustrating things. But Forest were excellent defensively, and their goalkeeper was incredible. I mean, I'd never heard of him before, but he was an amazing goalkeeper, and he really, really, really got them a point in the end. And they're going to be a very difficult team to play this season. They already beat Liverpool at Anfield. They've come to the bridge and drawn. I think all the big teams are going to find it very difficult to break them down because they're so well drilled, and then they can hit you on the counter attack with such great speed as well. But anyway, we now have the international break, and then we come back and we play Liverpool. Now, in this match, we had a couple of really bad yellow cards. We had Cucurella, who was booked, so he misses the match, and we had Fofana, who was booked, so he misses the match against Liverpool. So obviously we got Vega replacing Cucurella, and we have Tosin replacing Fofana. Two excellent players, two more than capable players, and it might be good, if anything, to give those two a rest. What I do want to see Neto start against Liverpool, and I want to see Nkunku start as well. I want to see João Felix play a little bit more. But consider it's been 7 games now. We're 4th going into the international break. We have a new manager. I mean, considering this time last year we were, I think, like 14th or 15th. We were outside the mid. I think we were at the bottom half of the table, or around the kind of mid-table. So we're in a significantly better position than last year. Low blocks are still a bit of an issue. We still need a bit more creativity in this team, or with these players. They still need to be a bit more creative. But all in all, it's not been a bad start to the season. I feel we're really on track at the moment, and I still think top 4 is a real possibility. But again, we've got a difficult run coming up. So again, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all on the 20th when we have hopefully beaten Liverpool at Anfield.